everyone! Welcome back to Let's Talk English. I'm Michelle, and this is the podcast where we have simple, natural conversations in English, so you can learn just by listening.
And I'm Jeremiah. We are so happy you're here with us today. Whether you're just starting out in English or you've been learning for a while, this show is for you.
So today's topic is something that every English learner needs, and honestly, something that even native speakers need sometimes.
That's right. Today we're talking about what to say when you don't understand something. Like, what do you actually say in that moment when someone is talking and you just don't get it?
Because we've all been there, right? Someone says something and you just didn't catch it. Maybe they spoke too fast or used a word you didn't know.
Exactly. And a lot of learners just smile and nod, like, yeah, totally, when really they have no idea what was just said.
Yes, I think we've all done that at some point. But today we're going to give you the real, natural phrases that you can use to ask for help. And trust me, people really appreciate it when you ask.
Right. It actually shows that you're paying attention and that you care about the conversation. So let's jump in.
Let's do it. So, Jeremiah, what's the most common phrase people use when they miss something someone said?
Oh, definitely something like, sorry, could you say that again? That's probably the most natural one. You can use it in almost any situation, with friends, at work, with strangers.
Yes, simple and polite. And there's also, sorry, I didn't catch that. That one is very common in everyday English.
Catch. That's an interesting word choice there.
Right, so catch in this context means hear or understand. So when you say, I didn't catch that, you mean I didn't hear or understand what you just said. It's very natural and works in both casual and professional situations.
That's such a good one. I use that all the time, actually. Now, what about when you heard the words clearly, but you just didn't understand the meaning?
Ah, yes, that's a different situation. So in that case, you might say, what do you mean by that? Or you can repeat the confusing word and ask, what do you mean by, and then say the word.
Right. Like target the specific word.
Exactly. For example, if someone says, let's table this discussion, which can be confusing because table means different things in American and British English, you could say, what do you mean by table the discussion?
Yes, that one confuses a lot of people. In American English, to table something means to put it aside for later. In British English, it actually means the opposite, to bring it up for discussion right now.
Exactly. See, language is tricky. That's why asking, what do you mean by, is so helpful. Don't assume, just ask.
Totally. Okay, now what about when someone gives you an explanation, but the explanation is just as confusing as the original thing they said?
Oh, that happens. So a really good phrase for that is, could you explain that differently? Or can you explain that in a different way? You're asking them to try again with simpler words or a different example.
And that's not rude at all. It's actually very smart. You're taking responsibility for your understanding.
Exactly. People are usually very happy to help. And another great phrase is, can you give me an example? Because sometimes a good example makes everything click immediately.
They do. Okay, so let's think about some real-life scenarios. Jeremiah, imagine you're at work and your manager says, we need to be more proactive about synergizing our workflow. What do you do?
Okay, first of all, I would be very confused. That sentence is full of business jargon, words like proactive and synergizing. So I might say, I'm sorry, could you explain what you mean? I want to make sure I understand correctly.
Perfect. That's polite and professional. And notice, you're not saying, I don't understand you. You're saying, I want to make sure I understand correctly. That small change sounds much more positive. Exactly.
Now, what about a casual situation, like hanging out with a friend and they say something too fast and you miss it?
Yeah, in that case, you can be a lot more relaxed. You could say, wait, what? Or just, huh? Or, sorry, say that again? Those are all very casual and natural with friends.
Right, and what by itself is okay, but it can sound a little abrupt. Adding sorry before it makes it sound much friendlier. So, sorry, what was that? Is much better than just what.
Yeah, that little word sorry does a lot of work. It softens everything.
It really does. Okay, here's another really useful phrase. Could you slow down a little, please? This is great when someone is speaking very fast.
Oh, yes, this is so important for language learners. Native speakers, and I include myself here, can talk really, really fast without even realizing it.
They do, and it is totally okay to ask someone to slow down. Most people don't realize they're speaking fast, and they will be happy to slow down for you. It's a kind human thing. And listeners, remember this. Asking for help is brave. It actually takes confidence to say, I don't understand. A lot of people are too embarrassed to ask, and they miss out.
That's so true. The people who improve the fastest are usually the ones who aren't afraid to say, hey, I didn't get that. Can you help me?
100%. Now let me ask you something. What about phone calls? I feel like it's even harder to ask for clarification on the phone because you can't see the other person's face. Right. So on a phone call, you can say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Or, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. And the word quite there makes it sound very natural and polite. Such a small word, big difference. You can also say, I'm sorry, the line isn't very clear. Could you say that again? That gives you a polite, natural reason for asking. But seriously, on a phone call, it's especially important to confirm information before you hang up. So before you say goodbye, you could say, so just to make sure I have this right, and repeat what you understood.
That is great advice. That actually leads into another really important phrase. So just to make sure I understand, and then you repeat back what you heard in your own words.
Yes, this is called checking your understanding. It's one of the most powerful communication skills you can have, in English or in any language.
Like, so just to make sure I understand, you're saying the meeting is moved to Thursday at 3, and then the other person can confirm, yes or no. No more confusion.
Exactly, and you show that you were listening carefully. It's a win all around. Now, what about in a classroom or a lecture? That can feel a bit more intimidating, asking a teacher or professor to repeat something in front of everyone. So true. You're the brave one doing everyone a favor. In a classroom, you could raise your hand and say, excuse me, could you go over that again? I want to make sure I understand. That sounds very respectful and engaged. Absolutely. Okay, and one more phrase I want to share before we do our recap. Bear with me. This one is a little different. You say it when you need a moment to process something. Like, bear with me, I'm still thinking about that.
Oh, bear with me. I love that one. It means, please be patient with me for a moment.
Exactly. So when someone explains something complex and you need a second to think, you say, bear with me. And it buys you a little time while also being very polite.
So useful. And one tip for our listeners, don't be afraid to write these phrases down. Make a little list on your phone. Next time you're in a real conversation and you don't understand, try one. Even if you feel nervous, just try.
Yes, practice makes perfect. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they sound, and the more comfortable you will feel in real conversations. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to communicate.
Totally. Because sometimes communicating means saying, hey, I didn't get that. Can you help me? And that is real communication. That's real English.
Well said. Okay, let's do a quick recap of all the phrases we talked about today. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. First, when you missed the words, sorry, could you say that again? And sorry, I didn't catch that.
Then, when you heard the words but didn't understand the meaning, what do you mean by? And could you explain that differently?
When someone is speaking too fast, could you slow down a little, please? And when you need a concrete example, can you give me an example?
So, just to make sure I understand, bear with me.
And for casual situations with friends, sorry, what was that? Or just, wait, what? Those are all natural and useful. That's a great list.
It really is. And the beautiful thing is, once you start using these phrases, they become second nature very quickly. Your brain starts reaching for them automatically.
That's exactly right. So practice them. Say them out loud. Maybe even practice with a friend or in front of a mirror. That's how you really make them yours.
I love that. Say it out loud. That's the key. Okay, I think that wraps up today's topic perfectly.
It does. Well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Let's Talk English. We really hope these phrases help you feel more confident the next time you're in an English conversation.
Yes, thank you for being here with us. And remember, it's okay not to understand everything. What matters is that you keep trying and keep asking questions. That's how you grow.
Exactly. And next time you don't understand something, don't just smile and nod. Use one of those phrases. You've got this.
Ha! No more secret nodding. We'll see you in the next episode of Let's Talk English. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.